The ballroom door swung open with a dramatic flourish, and Isla stepped in, her crisp white shirt and black vest blending seamlessly with the other servers bustling around the opulent hall. She had chosen this disguise deliberately, a quiet rebellion against the suffocating expectations of her family, who still clung to the illusion that she was the dutiful daughter they had molded. But as she balanced a tray of champagne flutes, a guest, a pompous businessman with a smirk that screamed entitlement, snapped his fingers at her demanding, "Girl, hurry up with that drink, don't just stand there gawking." Isla's heart raced, not from humiliation, but from the electric thrill of anonymity. For years, she had hidden her true self behind the facade of the perfect heiress, burying her love for women deep within, where her conservative parents couldn't reach. Tonight, at this grand gala in her own New York hotel, she wanted to see the world as it truly was, raw, unfiltered, without the deference her name commanded. Eliana, her secret partner of 2 years, had begged her not to do this, whispering in the dim light of their penthouse suite, "Isla, what if they find out? What if it backfires?" But Isla had kissed her worries away, insisting this was her way to reclaim control. As the evening unfolded, Isla weaved through the crowd, her mind a whirlwind of inner turmoil. "Why am I doing this?" she thought, her pulse quickening with each condescending glance thrown her way. "Is it to prove to myself that I can survive without the shield of wealth? Or is it just another layer of hiding who I really am?" The guests, a mix of high society elites and her own estranged family members, chatted obliviously about mergers and scandals, their laughter echoing off the crystal chandeliers. Her father, Reginald Hargrove, stood at the center, toasting to the family's latest acquisition, his voice booming with false pride. He had no idea his daughter was serving him, literally and figuratively. Eliana arrived fashionably late, her elegant gown hugging her figure in a way that made Isla's breath catch from across the room. They had met at a charity event 3 years ago, when Eliana, a rising journalist from a modest background, interviewed Isla about the hotel empire. What started as professional curiosity bloomed into stolen moments, whispered confessions, and a love that defied the rigid boundaries of Isla's world. But Eliana's family, devout and traditional, viewed their relationship as a sin, pressuring her to end it or face exile. "I can't keep lying to them," Eliana had confessed one night, tears streaming down her face. "But I can't lose you either." Isla's tray trembled slightly as she approached her own table, where her mother Victoria sat with pursed lips, scanning the room for any sign of imperfection. "Excuse me, miss," Victoria said sharply, not recognizing her daughter under the simple ponytail and minimal makeup. "This champagne is flat. Fetch a new one immediately." The word stung like a slap, igniting a fire in Isla's chest. "How many times have I swallowed my truth for you?" She seethed inwardly. The years of forced blind dates with men, the lectures on proper behavior, the subtle digs about her phase. It all boiled up in that moment. Pushing down the urge to reveal herself right then, Isla nodded meekly and retreated to the kitchen, her mind racing. This charade was meant to empower her, but it only amplified the isolation. Eliana caught her eye from afar, a silent question in her gaze. "Are you okay?" Isla forced a smile, but inside doubt crept in. "What if this exposes us too soon? What if my family uses it against me?" The gala was fundraising for LGBTQ+ rights, ironically hosted by her hotel, yet her parents attended only for the optics, whispering their disdain behind closed doors. As the speeches began, Isla positioned herself near the stage, tray in hand. Her brother, Marcus, the golden child who had inherited the family's approval by marrying into old money, took the microphone. "Tonight we celebrate progress," he said smoothly, "even if some traditions must evolve." Isla's stomach twisted. "Evolve? You mean conform," she thought bitterly. Marcus had once caught her kissing a girl in college, and threatened to out her unless she straightened up. The betrayal still festered, a wound that never fully healed. Suddenly a spill, intentional or not, sent a glass crashing to the floor near Isla. "Clean that up, you clumsy fool," the same businessman barked, his face reddening. The room hushed slightly, eyes turning. Isla knelt, picking up shards, her knees pressing into the marble floor. Humiliation washed over her, but so did clarity. "This is what they see me as, disposable unless I fit their mold." Eliana started toward her, Concern etched on her face, but Isla shook her head subtly. Not yet. The MC announced the main donor reveal and Isla's name was called, not as the server but as the owner. Gasps rippled through the crowd as she stood, brushing off her vest, her disguise shedding like old skin. Ladies and gentlemen, she said, voice steady despite the storm inside. I am Isla Hargrove, proprietor of this establishment. The businessman's face paled. Her family's jaws dropped. Victoria's hand flew to her mouth. Reginald's eyes narrowed in fury. In that instant the room exploded into whispers. Eliana's smile was proud but laced with fear. They both knew this was just the beginning. Isla's heart pounded. Have I just liberated myself, or invited destruction? The night was far from over, and the real confrontations were about to unfold. The revelation hung in the air like a thunderclap, silencing the murmurs as Isla stepped onto the stage, her server uniform now a symbol of defiance rather than deception. Her father's face twisted into a mask of controlled rage, his fists clenching at his sides. What is the meaning of this, Isla? He hissed under his breath as she passed him, but she ignored it, focusing on the microphone. Inside, her thoughts screamed. This is for every time you dismissed my identity as a rebellion. Thank you all for attending. Isla began, her voice echoing through the ballroom. Tonight isn't just about charity. It's about authenticity. I've spent years hiding behind expectations but no more. The applause was tentative at first, then grew, but her family remained stone-faced. Eliana stood at the edge of the crowd, her eyes locked on Isla's, a silent anchor in the chaos. How can I drag her into this? Isla wondered, guilt gnawing at her. Eliana had her own battles, her parents' ultimatums, the fear of losing her job if her orientation leaked. As Isla descended the stage, Marcus intercepted her, his smile fake for the cameras. Brilliant stunt, sister, he whispered venomously. But you've just handed me the keys to the kingdom. Father will never trust you now. The words pierced her, reopening old scars. Marcus had always coveted the family business, seeing Isla's lifestyle as his leverage. In college, after his threat, she had distanced herself from relationships, but Eliana changed that. Their love was a quiet revolution, built on late-night talks about dreams deferred and societies that judged. Eliana pulled her aside into a dimly lit alcove. That was incredible but terrifying, she said, her hand trembling as she touched Isla's arm. Your family, they look ready to explode. Isla pulled her close, inhaling her scent for comfort. I had to do it. Living in shadows was killing me. But inwardly doubt swirled. Is my freedom worth her pain? Eliana's family had already cut ties once when rumors surfaced. Another scandal could shatter her completely. The gala continued, but the atmosphere shifted. Guests approached Isla with a mix of admiration and curiosity, some whispering about her bold statement. One woman, a fellow hotelier, leaned in. I heard about your preferences. Brave to own it publicly. Isla forced a nod, but the word preferences irked her. It's not a choice. It's who I am, she thought fiercely. Meanwhile, Victoria cornered Eliana at the bar, her eyes sharp. You're that journalist friend of Isla's, aren't you? Stay away from my daughter, she's confused enough. Eliana's face flushed, but she held her ground. Mrs. Hargrove, Isla isn't confused, she's in love. The admission slipped out raw and unfiltered. Victoria's gasp was audible. Love? With you? This is unnatural, a phase she'll outgrow. Eliana's heart ached. How can she dismiss us so easily? Her own mother's words echoed in her mind. God doesn't make mistakes, but people do. The pressure to conform had led Eliana to a brief, disastrous engagement with a man years ago, a mistake that still haunted her dreams. Back in the main hall, Reginald pulled Isla into his office adjoining the ballroom. Explain yourself, he demanded, slamming the door. Isla stood tall, though her knees weakened. I wanted to see the world without the Hargrove name. And yes, father, I'm gay. I've been in a relationship for years. His face contorted. This will ruin us, the investors, the board. Think of the family legacy. Legacy? Isla thought bitterly. The one that demands I sacrifice my happiness? The argument escalated, voices rising. You've always favored Marcus because he fits your mold, Isla accused. But I'm the one who built this hotel into what it is. Reginald's eyes flashed. And I'll take it away if you persist in this delusion. The threat landed like a blow. Isla's mind raced. Lose the empire I've poured my soul into or lose myself. She stormed out, colliding with Marcus, who smirked. Told you so. Eliana found her in the lobby, tears unspoken. Your mother confronted me, she admitted. She knows. Isla's world tilted. I'm sorry. This is my fault. But Eliana shook her head. No, it's ours for hiding too long. Their hands intertwined, a small act of rebellion. Yet, as guests departed, whispers of scandal followed. A reporter friend of Eliana's approached. This could be a huge story. Lesbian Heiress comes out dramatically. Eliana hesitated. Promote our truth, or protect our privacy? The night ended with Isla and Eliana in the penthouse, the city lights mocking their turmoil. What now? Eliana asked, voice breaking. Isla pulled her into an embrace. We fight. But inside, Isla questioned. Have I betrayed her by forcing this exposure? The seeds of doubt planted, ready to grow into deeper conflicts. Dawn broke over Manhattan, casting a harsh light on the fallout from the gala. Isla's phone buzzed incessantly. Texts from board members, emails from investors, all laced with concern over the stunt. Her father's ultimatum echoed. Step down quietly or face a public ousting. Why must my love threaten everything? She pondered, staring at the skyline. Eliana stirred beside her, her face etched with worry. The press is calling me non-stop, she murmured. They want the inside scoop on us. Eliana's career hung in the balance. As a journalist covering social issues, her objectivity was questioned now that she was the story. Her editor had warned, keep personal life separate, or risk reassignment. But how? Eliana thought, her mind a tangle of ethics. Revealing their story could empower others, but at what cost? Her family's rejection loomed larger. Her mother had called that morning, voice cold. End this abomination or you're no daughter of mine. Isla paced the room, decisions weighing heavy. I won't let them erase us, she declared, but doubt crept in. Marcus had already maneuvered, scheduling an emergency family meeting. He's plotting to take over, Isla confided. Eliana nodded, her own conflicts mirroring Isla's. And my parents. They want me to come home, to pray it away. The words hung, a reminder of the societal chains binding them. At the meeting in the Hargrove mansion upstate, tensions ignited. Reginald presided, Victoria at his side, Marcus smirking. Isla, your actions have jeopardized our reputation, Reginald began. Coming out like that, it's not just personal, it's business suicide. Isla's blood boiled. My identity isn't a liability. Your prejudice is. Victoria interjected, tears in her eyes. We raised you better. This phase, it's because of that woman, isn't it? The accusation stung. Eliana wasn't there, but her presence loomed. Her name is Eliana and I love her. Isla shot back. Marcus leaned forward. Love? Or a rebellion against us? I've seen the emails, you two plotting this reveal. Betrayal hit hard. He had hacked her accounts? You spied on me? Isla gasped. Marcus shrugged. For the family's sake. The room erupted, shouts, accusations. Inside, Isla reeled. How far will he go to destroy me? Driving back to the city, Isla's thoughts churned. Have I been naive thinking love could conquer this? Eliana waited at the hotel, her bags half-packed. My parents cut me off, she said flatly. No more support, no holiday invites. The pain in her voice cracked Isla's resolve. Come live with me fully, Isla urged. But Eliana hesitated. And become dependent? Lose my independence. The mouth-wandao duk tore at them. Love versus self-reliance, truth versus survival. Days blurred into a media frenzy. Tabloids splashed headlines. Heiress's lesbian love affair rocks empire. Protests formed outside the hotel, some in support, others decrying moral decay. Isla faced the board, defending her position. My personal life doesn't affect operations, she argued. But whispers of boycotts lingered. One director pulled her aside. Think of the shareholders. Shareholders over soul? She thought bitterly. Eliana's article went live. An op-ed on LGBTQ+ struggles in elite circles. Anonymized but clearly inspired by them. It went viral, praise pouring in, but so did hate mail. "You've betrayed your faith," one from her cousin read. Eliana crumpled it, tears falling. "Was it worth it?" she whispered to Isla. Their embrace was fierce but strained. "Yes," Isla affirmed, though uncertainty gnawed. Marcus struck next, leaking old photos of Isla with women from college to the press. "To show it's a pattern," he claimed when confronted. Isla's fury peaked. "You're destroying me to climb higher." He laughed coldly. "Survival of the fittest, sis." The family rift deepened, Victoria pleading for reconciliation, Reginald silent in his disappointment. In a quiet moment, Isla and Eliana sat on the balcony. "We've lost so much," Eliana said. "Family security." Isla nodded. "But gained truth." Yet as allies rallied, friends offering support, strangers sharing stories, the cost mounted. A key investor withdrew, citing instability. Isla's empire teetered. "Have my choices been selfish?" she questioned, the weight crushing. The turning point came at a press conference Eliana organized. "We're not hiding anymore," she declared publicly, hand in Isla's. Cheers mixed with boos. But backstage, Eliana confessed. "I'm scared." Isla held her. "Me too." The exposure bonded them, but cracks formed. Eliana's resentment over lost family, Isla's guilt over the business toll. As weeks passed, the drama intensified, choices looming larger. The investor pullout was the first domino, triggering a cascade of financial tremors through the Hargrove hotels. Isla stared at the plummeting stock charts in her office, her mind a storm of regret and resolve. Did I sacrifice too much for authenticity? She wondered, fingers tracing Eliana's photo on her desk. Eliana, now fully moved in, juggled her job amid the scrutiny, her articles scrutinized for bias. "They say I'm using our story for clicks," she vented one evening, slamming her laptop. "But it's the truth." Truth came at a price. Eliana's parents arrived unannounced, demanding a talk. In the lobby, her mother wept. "This isn't you, Eliana. Come home, we'll fix this." Her father added sternly, "Or forget you have a family." Eliana's voice cracked. "I love her. Why can't you accept that?" The rejection was visceral, leaving Eliana shattered. "They were my anchor," she sobbed to Isla later. Isla held her but inwardly questioned. Am I her anchor now or her burden? Marcus capitalized on the chaos, rallying board members for a vote to oust Isla. She's unstable, he argued in secret meetings. Isla discovered the plot through a loyal assistant, fury igniting. After everything, you'd betray blood? She confronted him at his apartment. Marcus's eyes were cold. Blood? You chose her over us. The words echoed Isla's deepest fear, that love demanded division. I chose myself, she retorted, but doubt lingered. Was it a choice or an inevitable collision? Societal backlash escalated. Hate groups picketed the hotel, chanting slurs, while supporters countered with rainbow flags. One night, a brick shattered a window, a note attached. Freaks out. Isla's security tightened, but the fear seeped in. Eliana woke from nightmares, clutching Isla. What if they hurt us? Isla soothed her, but thought, my defiance has endangered her. The mouth-wandao duk nod. Protect love by retreating or fight and risk all. Eliana faced her own crossroads at work. Her editor offered a promotion, but only if she distanced from the controversy. Write about it objectively, not personally, he said. Eliana agonized. Compromise my integrity for stability? She declined, facing demotion instead. I won't deny us, she told Isla, pride mixed with terror. Their kiss that night was desperate, a cling to normalcy amid ruins. Victoria attempted reconciliation, visiting alone. I don't understand, but I love you, she said tearfully. Isla softened. Then accept Eliana. Victoria hesitated. It's against everything we believe. The impasse broke Isla's heart. Family love conditional on conformity? She sent her mother away, the door closing like a finality. Reginald's health faltered under stress. A mild heart scare, blamed on the scandal. See what you've done? Marcus accused. Guilt crushed Isla. Am I responsible? She visited the hospital. Reginald weak but unyielding. End this for the family. Isla whispered. I can't. Walking out, she chose love over legacy. The board vote loomed. Isla prepared a defense, rallying allies. Eliana stood by her, co-authoring a statement on equality. But leaks surfaced Eliana's past engagement, twisted as proof she wasn't really gay. They say I'm faking it for attention, Eliana cried. The betrayal stung. Who leaked it? Suspicion fell on Marcus, but no proof. In a heated confrontation, Isla accused him. You destroy her to hurt me? Marcus denied, but his smirk betrayed. People deserve the truth. Truth? Isla thought savagely. Your version twisted. The siblings' bond shattered irreparably. Eliana's food for thought came in a letter from an estranged aunt, supportive. Live your truth. I did too late. It sparked hope but also reflection. How many hide like we did? They attended a support group, hearing stories of loss and triumph. We're not alone, Eliana said, strength returning. Yet the vote day arrived tense. Isla addressed the board. My leadership built this. My life doesn't diminish it. Votes split, but Marcus's influence swayed. Isla retained control by a thread with conditions. No more stunts. Victory bittersweet, she thought. Won the battle, but the war rages. Post-vote, Eliana proposed. Let's elope, start fresh. Isla paused. Escape or evade? No, we face it here. Their decision cemented unity, but shadows of damage remained. Lost family, scarred reputations. As healing began, deeper awakenings stirred. Recovery was a fragile thread, woven through therapy sessions and quiet evenings where Isla and Eliana rebuilt their shattered world. The hotel stabilized, bookings rebounding with a new demographic, LGBTQ+ travelers drawn to the inclusive owner. But scars lingered. Isla's nightly reflections haunted her. Was the pain justified for this fragile peace? Eliana echoed the sentiment, her demotion a constant reminder of sacrifices made. Marcus distanced himself, starting a rival venture. Whispers of sabotage trailing him. Let him go, Isla decided, releasing the toxic tie. Victoria reached out sporadically. Small gestures like birthday cards sans judgment. Progress? Or pity? Isla pondered, hope flickering. Reginald remained silent, his absence a void. Eliana's family thawed minutely. Her mother sent a text. Thinking of you. It sparked tears. Reconciliation possible? But conditions loomed, testing Eliana's resolve. I won't change for them, she affirmed, but inwardly wrestled. Blood ties versus chosen love? Societal shifts emerged. Their story inspired a documentary, offers pouring in. Share our journey? Eliana asked. Isla agreed, but with caveats. No exploitation. Filming unearthed buried emotions. Isla's college isolation. Eliana's forced engagement. I almost married him to please them. Eliana confessed on camera, vulnerability raw. The director pressed. Regrets. Eliana glanced at Isla. None now. Yet, a new conflict arose. An anonymous source fed lies to tabloids, claiming their relationship was a PR stunt. Suspicion pointed to Marcus, but evidence lacked. Fight back. Eliana urged. Isla hesitated. More exposure risks more hurt. They sued quietly, winning a settlement, but trust eroded further. In a pivotal moment, Eliana's parents invited her home. Just you, they specified. Isla encouraged. Go for closure. Eliana returned changed. They listened but don't accept. It's a start. Start or stalemate. The visit unearthed Eliana's guilt. I feel like I abandoned them. Isla reassured. You chose happiness. The documentary premiered to acclaim, sparking debates on family, identity, and society. Viewers messaged, you gave me courage. But hate persisted, online trolls, threats. Security became routine, freedom curtailed. Is this the price? Isla whispered one night. Eliana nodded. For us, yes. As bonds strengthened, Isla proposed formally in their penthouse. Ring simple yet profound. Marry me despite everything. Eliana's yes was tearful, a beacon amid darkness. Planning the wedding invited more drama. Family invites? Public or private? They chose intimate, inviting only supporters. Wedding day dawned, vows exchanged under city stars. Through betrayals and awakenings, I choose you. Isla said. Eliana echoed. In damage and healing forever. Absent families ached, but chosen ones filled the void. Post-honeymoon life normalized-ish. Isla expanded the hotel with inclusivity programs. Eliana wrote a book on their saga. Success tasted sweet but reflective. In the end, as they stood on the balcony where it all intensified, Isla turned to Eliana. Was it all worth the wreckage? And so the question lingers. In the pursuit of authentic love against societal and familial odds, do the damages inflicted justify the personal freedoms gained? Or is compromise the truer path to harmony?